Have you ever wondered why so many people over the age of 75 face serious health challenges, and what you can do to avoid falling into that group? It's not just about aging. Many of the most common causes of death in seniors are preventable. Research shows that nearly 85% of senior deaths are linked to 5 major health risks that can be delayed or avoided with the right lifestyle choices. Understanding these risks now can not only extend your life, but also improve the quality of your later years. And the best part? It's never too late to start taking control. In this video, we're diving deep into the 5 primary causes of death after 75. Heart disease, cognitive decline, stroke, respiratory diseases, and falls. These health threats are responsible for the majority of fatalities in seniors worldwide. But here's the key. With awareness and early action, you can make a huge difference in your future health. I'll show you how small, consistent changes to your diet, exercise routine, and mindset can drastically lower your risks. You'll also discover why some of these health threats, like stroke and cognitive decline, are often overlooked and how simple steps can prevent them. Stick around until the end because the final cause of death we'll discuss is something most people don't think about, yet it plays a crucial role in your overall well-being. By the end of this video, you'll have practical, life-changing tips that could add years to your life, improve your health, and help you maintain independence as you age. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Heart disease. Heart disease continues to be the leading cause of death for people over the age of 75, and yet, the heartbreaking truth is that so many individuals don't realize just how much control they have over their heart health. It's something that breaks my heart because, in my opinion, we don't talk about this enough. How we can make a difference in our health with just a few simple, consistent choices. The heart is a muscle, and just like any other muscle in the body, it either stays strong with the right care or it weakens from years of neglect. That's the reality, plain and simple. And here's the thing. The scariest part is that you might not feel the warning signs until the damage has already been done. I cannot stress enough how crucial it is to listen to your body, even if you don't feel pain. You may not feel anything at all, until it's too late. So many people assume that slowing down, feeling tired, or getting winded easily is just a part of aging. But in reality, these can be the very warning signs that your heart isn't as strong as it used to be. And trust me, that is something worth paying attention to, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem at first. Let's talk about one of the biggest contributors to heart disease: high blood pressure. It's a silent killer, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Over time, it puts an enormous, relentless strain on your arteries, forcing your heart to work harder than it should ever have to. The worst part is that high blood pressure doesn't come with any obvious signs or symptoms. There's no pain, no immediate danger flashing a warning light. You might not feel anything at all until it's too late. It's almost like a thief in the night, slowly wearing down your body. And I see it happen all too often. People over 75 find themselves suddenly in the hospital, completely shocked and bewildered, asking themselves how they ended up there when they felt just fine only days ago. I can't help but feel this deep sadness because many of these hospital visits could have been avoided. If only people had been more mindful of the silent threats creeping up, there could have been a different outcome. High blood pressure doesn't care about your age. It's a ticking time bomb, and it's up to you to take control before it takes control of you. Then there's poor diet. We've all heard about how processed foods, excess salt, and unhealthy fats are bad for us. But, oh, the damage they do over the years. It's staggering. Decades of eating these foods slowly clog the arteries and reduce blood flow, essentially strangling the very thing that keeps us alive, our circulation. What I don't think enough people realize is that heart health isn't just about avoiding the bad foods. it's also about choosing the good ones. The right foods, the heart-healthy ones, are what fuel your heart and keep it going strong. Your heart deserves the best, and I believe it's our responsibility to nourish it. The damage done by years of neglect isn't something that happens overnight. It's cumulative. Every missed opportunity to eat heart-healthy foods adds up. And if we don't start prioritizing that now, the consequences may be irreversible later on. One more thing that's so easy to overlook is the lack of movement. I get it. It's so easy to fall into a sedentary lifestyle as we age. But the truth is, the heart isn't meant to stay still. When we stop moving, our circulation slows, our muscles weaken, and our hearts don't get the exercise they need to stay strong. I know some days can feel overwhelming, and the idea of exercising might seem daunting, but here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to run marathons or push yourself to extremes. No, staying active doesn't require that kind of intensity. You can start with something as simple as a walk around the block, stretching your arms, or even chair exercises. I can't tell you how life-changing these small activities can be, and how dramatically they can reduce your risk of heart disease. It's not about doing it all at once or getting it perfect. It's about consistency and effort. Your heart will thank you for it in ways you can't even imagine. I see so many people make the biggest mistake of thinking heart disease is just fate, that it's something that happens to everyone as they age. They hear about relatives who had heart attacks, and they assume it's just inevitable. But that couldn't be further from the truth. And I feel so passionate about this because I know that it doesn't have to be this way. Heart disease doesn't have to be something we pass down like some kind of family heirloom. The choices we make today, right now, have a profound impact on our future. The way we eat, the way we move, and the way we manage stress all play a role in whether our heart stays strong or begins to fail. The power is in our hands. Our hearts are in our hands. I urge you, if you take away just one thing from this, let it be this. You have so much more control over your heart health than you think. The power is not out of your reach, it's within you. Start now, and make those small, consistent choices that will help your heart stay strong for the years ahead. You deserve that kind of vitality, and your heart deserves the care and attention it needs. Start today, because you owe it to yourself and the people you love to protect your heart. 2. Cognitive decline. Cognitive decline is one of the most heartbreaking and difficult realities that many of us face as we grow older. It's not just a gradual process. It's a slow, silent thief that steals away parts of who we are. At first, it might feel like small, almost unnoticeable lapses. Forgetting where you put your keys, momentarily forgetting someone's name, or losing track of time. These small, fleeting moments often seem harmless at the time. But as the years go by, these tiny slips begin to accumulate, slowly building into something far more significant. What started as forgetfulness gradually becomes a deep, painful loss of the ability to reason, to make decisions, and ultimately, to retain your independence. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For many, cognitive decline isn't just a nuisance or inconvenience. It's a cruel transformation that turns life into a daily struggle. The ability to carry out simple, everyday tasks, something that was once second nature, becomes more and more difficult. A loved one's face, once instantly recognizable, begins to blur in the mind. The once clear and steady judgment starts to wobble, and the confidence we had in making even the smallest decisions begins to fade away. I can't help but feel the profound sorrow and helplessness that comes with witnessing these changes. It's a slow erosion of self that feels as though it's stripping away the very essence of who we are. For so many, it becomes a life-threatening experience, especially when it impacts the ability to care for oneself or to make the right decisions for one's health and safety. The effects of cognitive decline aren't limited to just the mind. The truth is, when dementia or Alzheimer's disease takes hold, the consequences spread far beyond mental function. These diseases put the entire body at risk, often making everyday survival a challenge. The simple act of remembering to take medications, something many of us do without a second thought, becomes increasingly difficult. Eating well-balanced meals, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and even recognizing the signs of an illness become overwhelming burdens. It's as if every part of you is slipping through your fingers, and you can't hold on to what once felt so natural. But here's the thing, losing your cognitive function doesn't have to be inevitable. This reality, as harsh as it may seem, is not set in stone. It doesn't have to be the road all of us are forced to travel down. Yes, aging brings changes, but by taking proactive steps, by committing to keeping both your body and mind active, by nurturing relationships and staying socially engaged, and by making smart, healthy choices when it comes to your diet, you can reduce the risk and maybe even delay or prevent this devastating process. You have the power to take control, to push back against the decline, to safeguard what is most precious. Your independence, your mind, and ultimately your sense of self. I truly believe that with the right care, the right actions, we don't just have to accept cognitive decline as an inevitable part of aging. We can fight back and live with purpose, vitality, and joy well into our later years. 3. Stroke. Imagine waking up one day, only to discover that one side of your body refuses to respond to your commands. You try to lift your arm, but it's as if the muscles are paralyzed. You try to speak, but the words feel trapped in your throat, like they're stuck in a place you can't reach. Your vision becomes blurry, and the room seems to spin. You panic, calling out for help, but nothing comes out. In that terrifying moment, your life as you knew it is shattered. That's the cruel reality of a stroke. It strikes without warning, like an unpredictable storm that upends everything in its path, leaving devastation in its wake. Some people are left with permanent disabilities, while others face the heart-wrenching reality of never being able to walk, talk, or care for themselves again. And, tragically, many don't survive the ordeal. Yet, despite the severity and suddenness of a stroke, the most gut-wrenching truth is that it's not inevitable. It's often preventable. As we age, we tend to believe that strokes are just a part of the process. That's simply not true. It's a myth we've accepted without question, and it's heartbreaking to see so many people suffering needlessly. Up to 80% of strokes can be avoided. But here's the question that matters. Are you doing everything you can to protect yourself? Think about that for a moment. A stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is blocked, or when a blood vessel bursts, cutting off oxygen from reaching the vital cells in your brain. The brain is starved, suffocated, and within minutes, the damage begins. The longer the oxygen supply is cut off, the more catastrophic the consequences. It's a race against time, and every second counts. What makes strokes so insidious is how they can vary in severity. Some people experience only minor symptoms, like confusion or weakness that fades with time. But for others, the aftermath is nothing short of devastating. Victims may lose their ability to speak, walk, or even care for themselves. They're suddenly thrust into a new reality, one that's filled with physical limitations and emotional turmoil. The harshest reality is that, for many, a stroke is fatal. It's a terrifying thought, especially when you realize that this tragedy is preventable. And the biggest culprit? High blood pressure. The relentless pressure on your arteries over time weakens them, making them more susceptible to rupture or blockage. What makes this even more chilling is the fact that high blood pressure often has no noticeable symptoms. It silently creeps up on you, earning its well-deserved title as the silent killer. It doesn't cause pain, it doesn't make you feel sick, until, of course, it's too late. Imagine how many millions of people walk through life unaware of the silent threat that's lurking in their bodies. How many never think to check their blood pressure, only to find themselves in the emergency room, faced with the terrifying reality of a stroke. Another hidden danger is something that many of us are unaware of: irregular heart rhythms, like atrial fibrillation, AFib. When the heart beats erratically, it can cause blood to pool and form dangerous clots. These clots are ticking time bombs. If one of them breaks loose and travels to the brain, it can trigger a stroke in an instant, changing everything in a heartbeat. And the worst part? Many seniors live with AFib and have no idea. The good news? There's hope. A simple checkup can uncover this condition, and early treatment can significantly reduce your stroke risk. Please, don't wait for the unthinkable to happen. Your health is too precious, your life too valuable. Take control today. Get regular checkups, monitor your blood pressure, and be aware of the signs that could save your life. You deserve a future that's free from the devastation of a stroke. You have the power to protect yourself, so don't let this silent killer sneak up on you. 4. Respiratory diseases. Breathing is one of those vital actions we often take for granted until it becomes difficult. We don't realize how precious each breath truly is until we're forced to struggle for it. As we get older, our lungs naturally begin to lose some of their strength, and the simple act of breathing can become a challenge. Even a minor respiratory issue can quickly escalate into something far more serious. What might start as a simple cough or feeling a bit out of breath can spiral into chronic conditions, severe infections, and, in some cases, the need for hospitalization. The sad truth is that after the age of 75, respiratory diseases emerge as one of the leading causes of death, not because they're inevitable, but because they're often ignored, dismissed, or misunderstood until it's too late to reverse the damage. One of the most dangerous and insidious conditions that affects many seniors is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. At first, it might seem like a mild nuisance, frequent coughing, occasional wheezing, or just a bit of shortness of breath after physical activity. But what many people fail to realize is that these are not just the effects of getting older, they are warning signs. Over time, as COPD slowly damages the airways, it becomes increasingly harder to breathe, and the body's ability to get oxygen to the bloodstream diminishes. What could have been managed in the early stages often becomes something far worse when ignored. Too many people dismiss these warning signs, thinking they're just a normal part of aging, when in fact, these symptoms demand attention and care. Then there's pneumonia, a seemingly innocent infection that can be downright deadly for older adults. For younger, healthier people, pneumonia might just feel like a nasty cold or flu, but for seniors, it's so much more dangerous. What might begin as a simple chest congestion, a bit of fatigue, or a slight cough can suddenly escalate into a life-threatening condition. This happens because, as we age, our immune system becomes less effective, and our body struggles to fight off infections the way it once could. Pneumonia is one of the leading causes of hospitalization for seniors, and in far too many cases, it leads to rapid deterioration in health. The worst part? Some people never fully recover, and their health continues to decline, sometimes leaving them with permanent, debilitating consequences. We can't forget about the silent, insidious threat of poor air quality. Over the years, we accumulate exposure to dust, pollution, secondhand smoke, and countless indoor irritants like mold and pet dander. These invisible pollutants wreak havoc on our lungs, often without us even realizing the damage. For those who already suffer from conditions like asthma or COPD, these irritants make symptoms even worse. Worse still, many people don't understand the impact of poor air quality on their overall respiratory health until it's too late. Small, everyday pollutants that we don't even think about, such as household cleaning chemicals or mold in the walls, can worsen chronic conditions and trigger flare-ups. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are ways to protect ourselves. A lot can be done to safeguard our lungs as we age. By making simple changes, such as improving indoor air quality with air purifiers, ensuring good ventilation, and avoiding exposure to smoke or pollutants, we can make a big difference in our respiratory health. These small steps may seem insignificant, but when it comes to breathing, they can mean the difference between struggling for air and enjoying the freedom of easy, comfortable breaths. If we are mindful of the environment we live in and recognize the importance of maintaining lung health, we can give ourselves the best chance of staying healthy and breathing easy for many years to come. It is so easy to forget the importance of breath, until it's taken from us. But our lungs deserve our attention and respect, especially as we get older. Let's not wait for a crisis to remind us of how crucial this life-sustaining act is. We owe it to ourselves to take action now, because every breath counts. 5. Falls and injuries. As we grow older, the risks we face begin to shift. It's not the diseases or illnesses we often expect to threaten us as we age. It's something far more subtle, yet far more devastating: a fall. And it's so easy for this silent, invisible danger to sneak up on us, striking when we least expect it. A single misstep, one moment of dizziness, or a floor that was once familiar but has become unexpectedly slippery, and suddenly, everything we know changes in an instant. One moment, you might be carrying out your usual routine, and the next, you're grappling with a serious, life-altering injury. A fractured hip, a head injury, or even what seems like a minor bruise can quickly escalate into a nightmare you weren't prepared for. It's terrifying to think that one simple fall could shift the course of your entire life. And what's even more alarming is that most of us don't realize just how vulnerable we are until it's too late. By then, the damage has already been done, and we're left grappling with the aftermath. Let me tell you something that might be shocking. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury-related deaths among seniors. It's not just an occasional inconvenience. It's a serious threat. Millions of emergency room visits happen each year as a result of falls. And tragically, for many older adults, a single fall can initiate a chain of events that leads to a decline they never fully recover from. A hip fracture, for example, often means months spent in bed, unable to care for yourself, watching as your independence slips through your fingers. It increases your chances of developing infections, blood clots, or complications that may have otherwise been avoidable. And yet, despite how tragically common these falls are, most of us don't take proper steps to prevent them until it happens to us, or someone we love. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As we age, our balance, muscle strength, and reaction time begin to slowly decline. It's a gradual process, one that doesn't come with a loud warning or sudden signs. It creeps in unnoticed, until one day it strikes, leaving us shocked and unprepared. You might feel fine going about your day, walking around your home, doing all the things you've always done, but then, unexpectedly, you reach for something, lose your balance, and, before you even know what's happening, gravity takes over. And the worst part? Our bodies don't recover like they used to. What once could have been a small stumble now feels like a catastrophic fall, leaving you with injuries that take far longer to heal. It gets even worse, though. The fear of falling itself can lead to even more falls. So many older adults, after experiencing one close call, end up becoming afraid to move. They stop going for walks. They avoid the stairs. They limit their activity, believing that staying still is safer. But here's the heartbreaking truth. The less you move, the weaker your muscles become. And the weaker your muscles get, the more likely you are to fall. It's an endless, vicious cycle that robs you of your freedom, your independence, and your joy in life. It steals the very essence of who you are, piece by piece. But here's the thing that so many people overlook. This cycle doesn't have to control you. There are ways out. There is hope. You see, falling is not inevitable. It's not some unavoidable fate. There are powerful, simple strategies that can dramatically reduce your risk of falling. Strengthening your legs and core, improving your balance through small, consistent exercises, and making adjustments to your environment, like better lighting, slip-proof rugs, and installing sturdy handrails, can make all the difference. These small changes could be the key that keeps you independent, active, and free from the horrors of a life-altering fall. But there's another factor that many people overlook: medications. We don't always realize how the medications we take, meant to improve our health, can make us more prone to falls. Dizziness, drowsiness, or changes in blood pressure. These are all side effects that can make us unsteady on our feet, without us even knowing it. If you've ever stood up too quickly and felt lightheaded, that's your body giving you a subtle warning. Your medications might be causing more harm than good when it comes to your balance. It's so important to have an open conversation with your doctor about the medications you're on, to make sure they aren't contributing to your fall risk. Taking control of this aspect could save you from a devastating accident. It's not just about tripping over something. It's about staying strong, staying steady, and staying aware of how little adjustments in your life can make a world of difference. After 75, a single fall is not just a temporary setback. It could change everything. But here's the powerful truth. You have control. You can make choices today that will give you years of continued mobility, independence, and a higher quality of life. It all starts with small changes, conscious decisions to care for your body and your environment. And believe me, it's worth every effort. Aging isn't just about growing older. It's about how you choose to live those years. Yes, heart disease, strokes, cognitive decline, and falls are responsible for the majority of deaths after 75, but they're not inevitable. You don't have to surrender to them. The difference between a long, fulfilling life and one fraught with health struggles comes down to the choices you make every day. Your body is more capable than you think, but only if you nurture it with the care it deserves. Every small, thoughtful change you make today can have a profound impact on your future. And that's a truth worth embracing with all your heart. As we wrap up today's video, I want to take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned. Falls are one of the most underestimated risks as we age, but the good news is that we don't have to accept them as an inevitability. We've discussed practical steps to strengthen our bodies, improve balance, and make simple changes around our homes to stay safe and independent. I hope you've gained some valuable insights that you can start applying right away to protect your health and live with more confidence. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're committed to bringing into practice in your life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to hear how you're taking action. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Together, let's continue making the most out of every stage of life.